Hey, Ian, how are you? You know, no matter what I do, my desk is never big enough. I know you all feel me. I know you all have the same problem. Hold on, I gotta spray my watercolors again. Okay, let's see. There are so many things going on today. It's such a busy day for me today, stressful day kind of, but I have to find time to paint and chat with y'all because it'll keep me sane. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do this morning while we're waiting for people to join us is I'm going to cover this color swatch. Yes, Ian, I feel that. So the first thing I'm going to do is cover my color key because I don't want it to get messed up. But I'm not going to break out the laminating machine because I just don't feel like it right now. So we're going to do it sort of the old-fashioned way, pre-laminating machine, and we're going to do it with packing tape. Clear packing tape. And this way, as I'm using the palette, the little samples that I made won't get all messed up because they get accidentally wet, because I am not great about not getting my things wet. Ah, hi, the D. My husband says I can watch some of you all who have channels on my TV, but I haven't quite figured out how to do that yet. And I certainly don't want to watch my own channel on the TV because, yeah, no. Okay. So if you're going to play with watercolors and you've made your color key and you know you want to protect it like I always do so that it doesn't get wet and get all gross and you have to make another one, you need to cover it with something. You don't have to be super fancy about it. You don't have to get out a laminating machine. You don't have to make a little pocket. You can just cover it with packing tape. That'll work. I mean, unless you're crazy and you're like totally soaking your watercolors like in a bucket, which I don't know why you would do, the packing tape will be just fine. So then once I have it covered, I'm just going to trim it, and I'm going to leave like 1/8 of an inch around the edge. Just like I would if I was laminating it. I'll leave a little bit of an edge. And I'm a bit distracted today, so I'm hoping I'm leaving enough of an edge because my brain is not fully engaged in what I'm doing. All right. I'm going to just, there we go. So now we have our color key. I have videos on making color keys. I've made a lot of them. Okay, so this is just a little sample painting I did just earlier today using both the muted palette and then some of the neons. I really love it, and I really wanted the neons so that I could use them like I do with neon acrylics to highlight my paintings and really make parts of it look like the sun is really brightly shining on the composition, whatever I'm painting. So I did this one earlier. We're not going to do a face because that's a little hard for everybody. Hey, Mary. We're going to do something much simpler, but this was a lot of fun and it was really quick. It's not perfect. It has some issues, but I was just playing and that's what I wanted to do. And it worked just great for what I was doing. So we're going to open to the next page and I'm going to move that. Let's see. I'm going to hold my book open with a little mini binder clip here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the paints. Okay. So these are, as I've posted last night, this is my new Brights palette. I have yet to label it, and yes, I do label them. In fact, it says Van Gogh, but I purged the some of the Van Gogh paints that were in here because they were duplicated somewhere else. And so that doesn't need to be on there. There we go. And I turned this into my Brights palette. Now, these are bright watercolors from a couple of different brands, and the details and exact names are in the video description. Just FYI. So what I'm going to tell you about these paints and where to find them is in the video description. Now, when I put this palette together, I knew right away that I wanted to compare these Japanese neon paints, these 6 big pans here, with some artist quality bright paints. Most of your artist quality paints don't really make a true neon. Neons and fluorescent paints are not light fast. And my thing is, hold on, quality. Let's try that. They're not, fluorescent pigments are not light fast. So most of your artist quality paint brands are not, I don't know that any of them even make any. So these true neons, these came from Japan. They are not light fast, and because they're Japanese Gansai watercolors, they're also pretty opaque, which I'm okay with in this case because they're really pretty neons. These 6 smaller pans over here are as close as we're going to get in Daniel Smith paints. That's right. These are Daniel Smith paints. Oops, there we go. Hey, Kathy. So in the Daniel Smith paints, I emailed them and asked them, okay, this is what I'm trying to do for my YouTube channel. What was it exactly I wrote? I'm looking to try and create a neon artist quality light fast watercolor palette, or as close to one as I can get with artist quality paints, and to do some comparisons on the YouTube. So question is, which of your watercolors are the brightest and closest to neons? So they sent me 6. I asked for certain kind of colors, and they sent me they sent me some names I can't pronounce. So I did put them in this description, but I'm going to shorten this one to Quin Yellow, but it's not Quinophthalone, it's another Quin. Pyrrol Orange, Anthraquinoid Scarlet, Opera Pink, Phthalo Yellow Green, and Manganese Blue Hue. I did type out the names again in the description, and all of these Daniel Smith paints, with the exception of Aqua Pink, have a light fastness rating of 1 or 2, which is good. Theirs go from 1, which is excellent, all the way to 4, which is fugitive, which is not, you know, sort of kind of light fast, but not really. They have one more rating, which is past 4, which is just they can't even rate it, or they didn't rate it. So the Opera Pink I already knew was a 4. I have Opera Pink. I had it in my stash. I love this color. And as you can see, it's very close in brightness to the pink over here in the Japanese watercolors. It's not fluorescent, but it is very bright. Then the Phthalo Yellow Green, there's no yellow green over here, but it's also one that I already owned that is a really bright, pretty color. The yellow I also like. Now the yellow is a light fastness of 2. The orange is a 1. The red, the scarlet is a 1. The green and the blue are a 2. I can see all of these working very well together, and they're going to be really pretty. And we're going to just play with them and create some just kind of abstract-y things with them. I also have some of the Japanese metallic paints here, and I have my muted Daniel Smith and M. Graham muted palette. Yes, these are Fine Tech and Gansai metallics. So these are Japanese metallics. Hey, Paula, how are you? So we're going to use them together, and we're going to actually, if you guys haven't heard of the blog called Doodle Wash, I do recommend that you look it up. It's a really fascinating blog, and she has, or he, they have some posting about these neon watercolors, the Japanese ones, where they do something like this. And when I filmed this and did this, I said that it was inspired by Doodle Wash. So we're going to actually play some more in that similar manner. Opera Pink is not quite fugitive, but it's a 4, which is not great. It might as well be. And I agree with you, Kathy. I love Opera Pink. It's always been one of my favorite Daniel Smith colors. So I think you guys are going to really love this exercise because it's really just about playing with your colors. And I'm going to get, I guess I'm going to use this paper towel. Okay, so Paula, I did put a link to eBay in the video description. If you Google Lumi Neon Watercolor, L-U-M-I, you're going to get a number of places to get them from. All of them are from Japan. That being said, it's really hard to get them from Japan. I had one shipment that got lost, and I never did get it. So they're kind of a pain to get, but I will say that I do think after playing with them, there's just a couple times I have, I'm really glad I did. So I'm going to start with, in this particular exercise, you can just start with whatever color you want. And I think I'm going to start with the orange for no particular reason. Hey, Anne. So I'm going to just paint a circle, or as close to one as I can. Look how bright that is. I don't even need to zoom you guys in close, do I? I'll zoom you in a little closer. Okay, a lot closer. Then I'm going to rinse my brush off. And I'm going to just put some water in here, and I'm going to allow the pigment to bleed. It's going to follow the water. It's not going to, go onto the dry paper when there's wet water right next to it. So I'm going to let it do what it wants to do. Oh, good. Hang on a second. I'm going to invite one of my friends to help out with questions. So let's give it a minute, and then we're going to have Anne on here helping us with questions, and I'm going to fix the screen so it stays on me. We'll see when she comes on. I'm going to go with another color. Let's see. Let's try this bright pink. Now, I did say today wasn't, it was a stressful day for me, and so I won't get into it too much. Mostly because I just feel like sometimes I'm just whining about stuff. But that being said, I don't have the steadiest hands on the planet today. Oh, Anne is here. Well, she's maybe here. And if you're listening, I see your icon, but I don't see you. Okay, so let's go back. So they come in a pack of 6 colors. You may be able to get them individually. I don't know, but I figured if I was going to have to order paint from Japan, then I was just going to get all 6 of them. It did take forever for them to come. Thank you for posting the link, Ian. You can get them on Amazon from a number of different sellers. You can also get them on eBay. I posted an eBay link in the description. Hi, Muriel. No, I can't hear you, Anne. I can see you now, but I can't hear you. And I do have my speaker on, so I should be able to hear you. We're having technical difficulties. You know, there's always something, right? All right, let's try now to mix it up a bit, and we're going to add in the Daniel Smith Manganese Blue. You do want to try to keep colors next to each other that are going to blend well. So don't put orange next to like green, because you're going to get brown. And I don't think if you're trying to create a bright neon painting that that's what you want. Oh, we're flashing to Anne. So again, we're going to just try to go very light touch with the paintbrush. And this is also a great way to test your paints and, you know, to do something like abstract that you don't have to worry about how the painting is going to turn out, if it's going to, you know, look like the real person's face or whatever. And you can just, you know, play and see how your colors blend. We're having speaker issues, or at least I think Anne is.
Hang on. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Aha! I accidentally muted my mic. Of course, right?
Yep. Oops. I can hear you now. Everybody welcome Anne. I love it when one of my art friends can come on live and help me with questions. I don't get distracted by painting.
So go ahead and paint to your heart's content, Gina, and I'm here to help you with the questions so you don't have to multitask.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I excuse the barking in the background. The mailman came and delivered a package and my dogs go nuts. So I apologize if you hear barking in the background.
So I'm just going to splatter some of this neon yellow on here. And you know, again, I have to say, I'm really loving these paints more than I thought I would. This is definitely one of those things that I bought just because you guys kind of requested it on YouTube, and I was curious to see if anybody made them.
Gee, thanks. Now I really want to buy these, Gina.
Sorry.
I'm not supposed to be buying anything else.
Well, the good news is they're really small. They'll pack easy.
There you go.
So I'm going to dry this.
Oh, Kathy, I am in the process of a big giant move, and so I am packing my art room. A lot of the things that I don't use on a daily basis are getting stored away because we're getting ready to put the house up for sale. So nothing fun, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like it. I love anything fluorescent, and these look awesome.
Yeah, just remember that when you're working with anything fluorescent, I don't care if it's watercolor, acrylic paint, marker, crayon, none of your fluorescent pigments are light fast. All of them do not scan well. So if you like to scan your artwork on a computer scanner to reproduce it, like to make it into a digital image, they don't scan well. You're better off photographing them. You can photograph them if you have the right lighting. But they do not scan well at all, and they're not light fast. So you do want to take a photo of it or something if you create something that you really love.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're going to go in here, and these are some of the Japanese metallic paints.
Oh, and there Ian goes, enabler alert.
Uh-oh.
He just added the link. Gee, thanks, Ian.
Is it for the metallic paints or the neons?
I think it looks like for the neons or the metallics. Let me look. It's for the metallics. Kisho Gansai Japanese watercolor paint Lumi accent 6-color set for $20.99 through Prime if you're a Prime member.
Yeah, and then there's also the Fine Tech set, which are these round ones. But I believe they're both Japanese.
Leave it to the Japanese to come up with good stuff. They always come up with good watercolors. Yep.
And I have to say, I do love them, and I love mixing up some of these Japanese watercolors, even though they're more opaque than I'm used to, with some of the other ones. Well, these round ones are Fine Tech, and the square ones are the Gansai. Yeah, these are Fine Tech. I put them all together because, you know. Well, I do have a set of Japanese metallics, but I mean, Daniel Smith metallics, but I thought for today's broadcast that I should.
Yeah, we know they're not. We know Fine Tech is not Japanese, but we're talking about the square ones. The square ones are Japanese.
Yeah, but I said I thought they both were.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
That's my fault because, you know, I'm not completely with it today.
It's okay. It happens, right? We all have those days. Hey, I'm never with it.
Well, today has. Yeah, and we have the same issues. That's why. So far, my day's not starting out too badly. I'm just having anxiety issues, but my car is ready from its recall repairs like 4 days early because they evidently got the parts in. They weren't expecting to get the parts in.
All right. The D has a question. Gina, have you tried the Yasimoto? Yasitomo, actually. Yasitomo watercolors. They look like student grade, but I heard they were good.
I haven't heard of them until now.
Yeah, Yasitomo.
Thanks. Now I have to look them up. I do wish, you know, because I'm in the area I'm in California, and we have a large Asian community, Japanese especially. I do wish we had a store that carried some of these things so I could just go there and buy them.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah, we don't though. So really what I'm doing is I'm just doodling with my these paints, and that enables me to practice with them and play with them and figure out how they work and how they move on the paper.
Yeah, I like those fine tech metallics. Those look awesome.
Yeah, I do have to say I've used both of these, not a lot, but they are equal in my mind.
Well, I'll be making a list, so when I move and I'm in my new home, I will definitely try and order these.
You'll be able to order them, right?
Yeah. Hubby said no more art supplies until we move. Damn it. No.
I want to put some black pen on here, but we have to dry this first.
Especially if you don't know if your black pen is water soluble or not. There's some black pens out there. They say they're permanent, but they're not permanent until they're completely dry too. So if you put water over them, you're going to get smudging and smearing.
Yeah, and if you want to draw over your watercolor, of course you can with any pen, but you really want to have everything be dry.
Yep, for sure.
You have more control that way over what happens. But I will hold this up to the camera. Whoops. Can you see that? Not only how bright those neons are, but look.
Yeah, so pretty.
And remember, this blue that's on here is pretty bright, and it's an artist quality Daniel Smith paint.
Thanks, Kathy. She said they're small, and I say go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oops. So you can just create something like that. That's easy. It's pretty. I could see this on a tag or a card front.
That is cool.
Yeah, it is kind of zen, and you could also put some of these colors down, and then you could doodle a mandala over the top of it. Over in our group, My Year 2017, Wanda has been doing mandala doodles, and you definitely could start off, of course, with white paper, but why couldn't you start off with a layer of these bright watercolors first?
True. And Ian's, of course, adding more links for all of us to go buy. Enabler.
Of course he is. So the other thing I want to do is sort of a, these are going to just all be easy, but we're going to do some sort of flowery shapes. Now this is a filbert brush, which is a flat with a rounded tip instead of a flat one.
That fluorescent pink is amazing. It's
Yeah, this one they call rose. It's like a purple, isn't it?
Yeah, or a magenta. Yeah, kind of, yeah.
It's on the purpley side.
Very pretty. Kathy Whitney said, "Stop it, Ian."
Okay, at least today it's not me posting all links and everything. But I was happy to create this bright palette and add it to my collection. I think it was a really good move on my part. It was something that I didn't have. Other than the opera pink, I didn't have, and the green, I didn't really have anything else that would work the same way. And you'll notice I'm using them right out of the pan. So I'm getting really full strength of the paint.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I will say that from using these kind of Japanese watercolors in the past, I know that for, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it seems like the water that you put in there evaporates really quickly, more than it does in a regular watercolor. I don't know why that is.
Could be the pigments or whatever they use, you know, I think.
Yeah, it might be the binder.
Yeah. It tends to be very humid in Japan in the summertime, so maybe that they do something different with the binding, so it does.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
Not affected by the weather or something, perhaps.
And you can tell I've been playing with them because I've got this paper towel now that's all grody. That's an art word, right? Grody?
Yes, I think so.
So yeah, so the first round, so my car is ready early, and the first round of tests I've had to have because of my annual, you know, checkups and stuff came back negative, which is good.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm hoping that's a good omen for today. Because I'm having more tests done today. So I'm just like putting some of the yellow on the tips here. That's a beautiful painting. Which one? This one? Oh, that's easy. I'm going to switch brushes. You can paint something with just the neons. You know, it is possible. Even though they're neon, if you go by color temperature, you in this palette, I've got some greens and blues. So they're cooler than the other colors. This red, while Daniel Smith included it in the brights, and I like it, that red.
You're not camera.
It's on the cooler, muddier side.
You're not on camera, not, Gina.
You know, it's
can't see your palette.
Oh, here. Wait.
No, your plate palette.
Oh, this one, the one I'm mixing on.
Yeah.
So here. So it's while it's bright, and it's a bright for an artist paint. It's a nice bright color. It's not a neon, the red. And I would never use the neons by themselves. Generally, I'm just doing this because we're playing and experimenting, but they're a nice complement to add some warmth to your other colors and your other paintings.
Kathy says, I love that green. What is it?
The green is Daniel Smith Phthalo Yellow Green. All of the colors are in the video description for the Daniel Smith side. Oh, I just stuck my brush in the wrong water, so you guys can't see that, but now it's all dirty. All my water's dirty. At least I didn't stick it in my water glass or something.
Colors are so lush. I want it. I so need it.
Well, I wanted to include some artist quality paints for you guys because I know some of you, are really concerned about light fastness and that. And I thought you would probably appreciate that. That being said, you all know that Daniel Smith is my favorite color anyway, or brand anyway.
What kind of watercolor journal are you working in?
This is a Moleskine. I think it's 5x8. This is a Moleskine watercolor journal. It's not your regular Moleskine. And I actually like this. I do have some Pentalic journals that I got for Christmas. I haven't tried them yet. I'm really trying to fill this one up first.
Paula, you're funny. She said, oh my God, I'm swimming over to Gina's home right now. And she put the emoji for swimming. And big grin.
Well, I do like it when my art friends come to play. Anne knows that.
Yes.
And honestly, it's good for me to have to share my toys with other people because otherwise I tend to get all wound up in not sharing with people.
Charity asks, what's the pound of the paper?
140 pound.
140 pound, okay.
And it does curl a bit when dry. You know, you can see here, oops, where are we? These pages are dry. It does warp a little bit, but it's not too bad. It doesn't make me crazy or anything.
I
I
kind of
heard
like
the Pentalic doesn't do that.
Yeah, I kind of like it when they do that, though.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Yeah, 300 GSM, Ian. I shouldn't be putting gold in there. I should be putting like this pearly color. Let's see what that looks like. And I'm just playing, and this whole journal is about playing. And, you know, I don't always like the way things turn out in here, but that's okay.
To me, art's all about play.
Yeah, it should be. If it's not, you're doing something wrong. I can't wait. My next stencil prototypes are on their way for the next batch of stencils that's going to come out.
Cool.
Hopefully I won't have trouble with it getting lost like I did the neon watercolor paints. So I'm going to put some of that. Look at how bright that is.
I do love that color.
Yeah. Let's get some of that blue in here.
I love working with metallics and fluorescents. They're two of my favorite things in any paint,
Yes, I agree. In fact, my next round of tests and picking up my car and all of that, I'm stopping at Joann's because how do I not have any aqua or teal colored metallic like rub and buff or gilding paste? How is that possible that I don't own that color?
I don't know.
And I need to do a video on the dragon eggs, and I want to do one that's that color. So anyway.
Paula Brennan says, "Oh, I dare you to make a painting with just neon watercolors." Go on, Gina, Paula said.
Well, I just did. This is just neons. So here, I'll push it up a little bit because I don't know about you guys, but I don't think you're seeing the whole thing.
That is pretty.
So, I mean, these are simple little kind of weird flowers, but I'm just playing with the paints. Okay, that's interesting. I just discovered that these react like acrylic paints when you get them hot. They bubble.
Oh.
And that might have something to do with the fact that they're so opaque.
That could be it, yeah. Ian, you can never have too much glitter, in my opinion.
No. But I need to have, glitter's been on my no buy list for a while because I actually have a lot. So.
Yeah. So do I.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I'm probably going to pass away, you know, at like 90 years old, and the daughter's going to go, "What the hell, Mom?"
Yeah.
Find this giant box full of glitter in the art room.
Yeah.
And I know out there you can all feel me on that. So I know it's not just Anne and I.
No.
There are some of you out there that have been sharing your art room redos lately, and good for you. I don't mean this to have you stop doing this. In fact, I encourage you to, but I've seen your art spaces, and I know you guys have a lot of stuff like I do, and Anne does. So
too much. That's another reason why I'm not ordering anything else, because I have to move it all.
Right.
I gotta.
So now I want to try one more. I'm going to move my paper so that I don't get things all icked up. And we're going to go back to that filbert brush. We're going to go to the muted palette, and I'm going to grab the Indian Yellow. See, they're acrylic. They're acrylic. See, I could tell you that from heating it up, Ian, because it bubbled. And I wonder if these are too. They're some kind of water-soluble acrylic instead of a true watercolor.
Maybe that's why they're opaque the way they are.
Yep.
Huh.
That was a lot of Indian Yellow. I actually didn't mean to put that much on there. Okay, wait.
Looks nice though.
Yeah, well, we're gonna blot some of that up.
Add some gold, the gold, metallic gold to it.
Yeah, we're gonna add some water to that first. I forgot that's an M. Graham paint, which I love the M. Graham paints I have in this palette, but they're very pigmented. If you're going to get them, keep that in mind. Mayberry Blue is also very, very pigmented. So let's do a simple sunflower shape, and I just want to show you how I would use these metallics in a regular painting, like I did when I was playing with the face earlier, but off camera, off of the live broadcast. I won't say off camera because I did film it, and I'll put music to it. Oh, and FYI, you guys, this is going to make all of you laugh, and it's okay if you laugh. So 2 things lately. I've been so distracted, and this is how I know that I've not been okay lately. So I evidently had a voiceover clip saved in iMovie that I forgot about, and it showed up as audio. I guess I thought it was music on another video. So it had to be edited out. Thankfully, it was caught by the people at Canvas Corp before we aired it. I don't think I put it on any other videos, but if I did, somebody let me know. And there is a 4-part series on painting a canvas coming out next month. Part 3, I'm in my workout clothes, and evidently you see all my back fat and rolls. So let's just try to keep the hateful comments at bay. I'm okay with my back fat, but that doesn't mean I really intended to show you all on camera.
Hey, join the club, Gina.
I know, right? I know you all feel me because I know, we're all in the kind of the same boat, but yeah, I didn't intend to show it on camera. So this is the yellow. It's just called yellow. It's not called anything else in the Japanese watercolors. And I'm just going to use it to give the petals a highlight. And because it's opaque, it goes pretty well over the watercolor paint.
What comes in a tube or a can, Eve? Oh, Ian. Okay. I guess Ian was asking, test some watercolor paper. Talking to myself. Sorry, Gina.
No, that's okay. Cindy does it too. Heck, I do it. Are you kidding? Even when Bob is home, he says, "Who are you talking to?" Myself, dear.
Yeah. Yeah. And as long as we don't start arguing with ourselves, we're okay.
Oh, is that how that works? Oops.
Yeah. At least that's the way I like to say it. At least it's not raining today, Gina. Was it raining in your neck of the woods this week?
Yes. Oh my God.
Like as if we
I'm
need.
very done with the rain now. I'm done.
I guess Squaw Valley and some other of the ski resorts said that they may be open indefinitely past summer even.
Wow, because there's so much snow?
Yeah, they said there's like, we've got, I don't know how many feet of snow now. It's ridiculous.
Wow. You know, people always try to call my cell phone, and it's a Sunnyvale number. How much you want to bet it's a salesman?
Oh, yeah.
So I really like the way these neons make this simple painting like the sunflower really pop. And I'll hold it up to the camera in just a minute. We will probably be at some point doing like a Buddha face. I do them in acrylic a lot and do the pops at the end with neon. I think at some point, maybe next week, we need to try one in watercolor.
Eve, I think the Inktense blocks are actually ink, pigmented ink.
I think that's true. I think they're pigmented ink. I don't think they're. And once they dry, you can't move them.
No.
So this is, what color is this? Quinacridone Gold. This is a Daniel Smith. This is from my Muted palette. The one thing I'm bad at with watercolor is leaving white space. Even if I start out intending to leave white space, I usually don't.
I'm the same way. I don't know why.
Yeah, I get carried away putting the color down.
Yeah, I tend to do the same thing.
Okay, almost done. Have I missed any questions?
Nope, you haven't missed any questions.
Okay, we can go back to one of the other paintings by the time I finish this one, you guys, and it's probably going to be dry. And we can see if these Japanese watercolors will lift. Okay, see? Oops.
Pretty.
Right? So I think these are a really interesting addition to your paint box. I want to get colored. Let's see. Let's do pink. These are just Inkjoy gel pens. They're nothing special, just FYI. So what is that about pink hair? Oh, yeah. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about with pink hair. I think I missed part of that conversation.
I missed it too.
Oh, Kathy saw somebody with pink hair in Nebraska. No, Nebraska's not someplace I would think to see somebody with pink hair. Yeah. And I would equate it with Claudia Rossi. Her name is okay to say here. She is a friend of mine. Okay, so we're going to go back to, I think, these flowers. Now, this pink here is, right?
That's so pretty.
It's very pretty. And especially if you do these little paintings with a little bit of journaling near it, I think it's great. I might do some journaling on this one too. So here's this first one that we did. And this pink is the Japanese watercolors. So one of the questions was, is it acrylic or is it watercolor? I don't know. I do know that when I heat dried this one, it started to bubble like an acrylic paint. So let's test it. It is dry now. Although the metallic is slightly sticky, which is interesting. Let's find a test patch that one maybe is a little wet. This one's dry. So let's see. No, Ian, it reactivates.
That is cool.
So it is definitely a watercolor because it reactivates. It's not a permanent pigment, whatever it is. So that's interesting. You guys are just chatting away. I love that you're all answering each other's questions. Oh, the pink-haired lady in this week's challenge. I did see that and I thought, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with that one, so I haven't done it. Now, I will say that coming up, you all should be watching the Canvas Corp brand's YouTube channel, specifically the Tattered Angels channel and their Tattered Angels blog, because I took a couple of the My Year inspiration photos and did them for Tattered Angels. So they will be coming up soon. I have not been able to share them. In fact, I did a third one yesterday for them.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't done anything for Canvas Core in a while. I mean, that's my next goal, is to do something for them.
And remember too, when you're working in your journal and you're doing journaling on your journal, I'm all about adding words. You all should know that by now. They don't even have to make sense to anybody but you. Nobody has to read them but you. They can be I like when they're messy. It's sugar bait. What, Eve? You think the paints are sugar based? Is that why they're a little bit sticky? I lost track of the conversation somewhere, you guys. So here's the 3 paintings that we just did. We just did 3 little paintings, 3 little quick. They don't have to, take you. Of course, you can spend hours on your paintings. Of course you can, but you don't have to. When you're just in a mood and you just want to create something, do that. Maybe it's just splotches on a piece of paper. Do that. This is fun, especially when I did the other one. Here's the other one. When I did this one, instead of hand drawing the circles, I used different sizes of bottle caps and then put the paint around the outside edge. I have to do something here. I don't know what to do there.
Looks to me like a great border piece, that black one that you just showed.
This one?
Yeah, you could do over it.
Yeah, I see, like doing a sketchy doodle or something over the top of it. I think. I don't know yet. It'll come to me.
Ian said to touch the paint and see if it's sticky.
So these two are completely dry, and the metallic dried with a little bit of a texture, but it's a teeny tiny hair sticky. This one is not completely dry yet, and it's definitely sticky. This one over here is not sticky at all. They do seem to take a little while to dry. Oh yeah, so Eve is right. So the M. Graham paints, these here, these are made with honey, and they never really completely dry out in the pans. They always look like they're wet and they stay sticky.
Huh, that's interesting.
But when they dry on the paper, they don't seem to be sticky at all.
Sorry, that's my phone going off. Be
Okay.
right back.
So Kristen, welcome. The links to the paints and the name of the paints in my new Brights palette are in the video description. Daniel Smith was kind enough to send me the names of 6 of their brightest paints that they had that they thought would work in a good comparison to the Japanese watercolors. And while they are very bright, and except for the opera pink, very light fast, these are brighter. That being said, these neon fluorescent paints are not light fast at all, and the opera pink is barely light fast. So you just have to decide if you care if your paints are light fast. That being said, I can see using all of these together myself in my work. The metallics are great, and I got these initially to compare the Fine Tech with the Gonzai, and I like them equally. I also have a Daniel Smith metallic palette that's a lot of fun to play with. And a Prima. I like metallics. I also am looking, and I also have a Prima metallic paint palette. The Daniel Smith has a lot of metallics and duochrome paints, and they come in colors, which you're not going to really get in these. So this is the Daniel Smith palette. So yeah, you totally could do that, girl, and use this neon, either the rose or the pink or both, in her hair, and the opera pink. She would have fabulous hair. And I would definitely do that. I would do a base of her like this one with regular paints or a pencil sketch, and then highlight her hair with these neon watercolors. These are a really great accent. Of course, you can use them on your own as you've seen, and they make a really pretty painting. But I think the way to get the most punch out of them is to use them as an accent to your other work, to have them highlight the warm high spots that are closest to the viewer and the ones that are getting the most sunlight. Oh, Eve, okay, good. Is Sadie the one who wrote the Doodle Wash blog? She may be. That name sounds familiar.
Mary asks, are you doing DSMITG now?
I don't know what is that.
I don't know. Daniel Smith.
Daniel. I still don't know what she means.
Oh.
Kathy, you're more than welcome. It's not stealing if I let you take it. I wouldn't be sharing my art ideas and practice here on YouTube and Facebook and other social media sites if I wasn't completely okay with you guys taking my idea and running with it. Oh, okay, Sadie saves the day. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That being said, there's a lot of information about the paints on the Doodle Wash blog. I just haven't read it all yet. I didn't get past, ooh, neon watercolors. And the starch may be why it's, you know, until it's completely dry, there's a little bit of a stickiness to it. And yeah, I would explain the opaqueness. Japanese watercolors in general are going to be much more opaque than your regular, like Daniel Smith paints. And you can see here where, you know, I've used on this flower some of the manganese blue in here. And some of the scarlet, and laid it over the other colors, and you can see the other colors and brush strokes through it. But whereas where you put the neon orange, which is the Japanese, it completely covers up the other paint because it's so opaque.
Mary's asking, which one did you use the Daniel Smith on, and did you use them today?
Yeah, so I used the scarlet and the manganese blue on this painting. I used the green and the scarlet on this one. On this one, we have the manganese blue. I do really love that color.
That is pretty.
And on this one, I used both of the yellows, both the Japanese one and the Daniel Smith yellow that I can't pronounce. I used opera pink and the pink from the Japanese set. And I used the manganese blue along with some colors out of the muted palette. Yeah, you will be seeing these going forward. You'll be seeing this on my desk a lot when we do these watercolor tutorials. They're equally bright. They're just a different kind of bright, Mary. And, you know, like I said, if you really want a true neon, then you need to get these. But if you want as close as you can get with using a traditional watercolor paint, I would say look at these Daniel Smiths, because really, even this scarlet, which is a little earthier than I would think for it to be, these are all pretty bright. The yellow, the two yellows, when I swatched them on the white paper,
yeah, they're bright.
I mean, yeah, here's the sample. This is on 140-pound watercolor paper. So Daniel Smith has a couple of different tube sizes, and they can be anywhere from just under $10 to $20 a tube, depending on the pigment. You can get small size tubes of these. You don't have to get the big 5 mil tube. They have, I mean, 15 mil tube. They do have a 5 mil tube. And you can go to danielsmith.com on their website and copy and paste all the names out of the description here in the video to the website, and look them up that way, and compare them though with the prices on Dick Blick or Jerry's Artorama or even Amazon, and see who's going to give you the better price and who has the smaller tubes. If you're just doing this, you know, as an accent to your other watercolors because you want to add this bright pop, then I would say get the smaller 5 mil tubes if you can, 5 ml. They'll be cheaper for one thing. I tend to order them instead of try to get them at my local art store, because my local art store never seems to have the colors in stock I want, so I just don't even bother anymore. And that being said, I don't remember all 6. I had 2 of these. I had 2. Oh no, I had 2. I had the opera pink and the yellow green already. So I had to just order the other 4. And I think it was just under $50 with shipping. I don't remember exactly, because I've been waiting forever for these other 6 to come in. So I don't remember. All right. Any other questions? Oh, and I can show you so you know what I'm talking about for tube size. Let's see. Where's the little orange one? So this is the 15 mil tube. That's the size of the tube. And this is the other one. This is only 5. And this is the Pyrrol Orange. I bought it in the small one. So if you're just going to get these to try, I would say get the little one. All right, and I have to go too. I've got to go pick my car up. I've got to go pick my car up. I've got to go to Joann's, and I've got to go do my stupid treadmill test.
Good luck on that, Gina.
Thanks. I have done it before, but you know, waiting for the results is not fun.
No, I agree. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. So go out and play. Think about adding some of these to your collection. If you want to get the Japanese ones, which are great, they're going to take a long time to get here in the States. Don't forget the most important thing, besides supporting your artists here on YouTube and in real life in your hometown, if you can, by, you know, shopping in their stores and, you know, just being nice on social media. Go out and have a great day. Do something nice for yourself because you deserve it, and I'll see you later. Play with your paints. Look, we did 3 little paintings here in an hour. If I can do it, you can. All right. Bye, guys.